And I could cry, but I'm not. Because Bunny Girl gonna do it for me. Oh, I know. Man. But I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it to you. All right. And I'm gonna read it to blue and yellow. I got blue and yellow in the tank. It's crazy. So check this out, right? The White House on the corner. It's a chapter of Dorothy. Happy birthday, Granny. 94. White House on the corner. By now, all the children were young adults and had jobs or was in college. Lynn always had a job, a real good job, and bought her mother a big white house on the corner in an area called South Shore. The house was 1 block away from the beach. Many happy memories was made in that big white house. A new generation of children were celebrated in that house. Sunday meals, holidays, and special occasions were held at the White House. Initially, holidays were divided between Dorothy, Jean, and Maggie. Jean hosted Thanksgiving, Maggie hosted Christmas, and Dorothy hosted 4th of July. However, as Dorothy's family grew with the new generation, preference was given to celebrating all holidays and special occasions at the White House. Many family members preferred the White House because Dorothy was most gracious and welcoming as hostess. All guests entering the White House were treated special, and no one was ever turned away for any reason. Dorothy always had a loving, giving spirit and felt that to whom much is given, much is required. She also taught her children that it was always better to give than to receive. Just had a conversation with my mom a couple days ago, and she reminded me of that. I love you, Mom. That was not always the case at Maggie and Jean's house. They were very particular about who they invited to their holiday givings, and some people, even family members, were not even welcome. On a number of occasions, Maggie's niece, Jewel, would come to the gatherings, and Anthony would say, "Toe up from the flow up." Now, this didn't have anything to do with the looks, because she was an attractive lady. However, she was an alcoholic, and loud, cussing, boisterous, one at that. On the other hand, Jean and Maggie were prime and proper and would have none of that. Now that this didn't mean that they would not drink or play bid whiz, because they did at every family gathering. It didn't mean that they didn't cuss, because they would cuss a person out big time. Nonetheless, it was something about Jewel that would make Maggie's skin crawl, and she did not like being around her at all. One 4th of July, the family was gathered at the White House. They had a big whiz game going with the older generation. But what was going on outside in the house, in the card room, some of the younger generation was on the back porch playing checkers and other board games. Others in the living room dancing. Some young big whiz had a game playing on the outside in the lawn. And still others were sitting on the front porch just simply talking. No matter what you desired to do, as long as it was legal, you could find it at the White House. Okay, ignorance of the law is no excuse. But the family enjoyed coming to the White House because Dorothy was an early riser, and she would always permit you to come as early as you wanted. Stay as late as you wanted, eat as much as you wanted, and have as much fun as you wanted. Dorothy did not know a stranger. If a family member brought a guest, she made them feel right at home, as if they were a part of the family. Dorothy had a big heart. She enjoyed being kind and sharing. People who met her and fell in love with her were right away, and she affectionately became known as Dot. Everyone was having a good time. You could hear laughter, loud talking, bragging, trash talking, and everybody jovial, high-spirited. All of a sudden, a voice louder than everyone else's overpowered all voices. The language was inappropriate, and the younger children at the gathering, as all the other voices were silent, all eyes went to one direction. Who was coming up with the stairs with crassly making the presence known? Cousin Jewel. "Oh, shit," Maggie said. And before Jewel could get in the house good, Maggie was all over her. "I'm sorry, Aunt Maggie. I didn't know you was I didn't know you was in here. I apologize for that," said Jewel. And that was that. "Oh, and that was disrespectful. Really, I'm sorry. It won't happen again." "You right about that. Get your ass out of here. Don't nobody want you around here. Go back. Go back to where you came from, smelling like a distillery." "Aunt Maggie, why you treat me like that? I love you. I really do," Aunt Maggie cried Jewel. "What I say, gal? Don't nobody want you around here. Go on, I say." With her eyes filled with tears, Jewel turned around and started to head towards the door. She didn't see Dorothy coming from outside, where she had just turned from over to meet. "Hey, Jewel, I thought I heard you come in." As Dorothy reached out her arms and hugged her, noticing the tears in her eyes, she asked, Hey, y'all, what's wrong? Why the tears?" "Dorothy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. I'm leaving." "Jewel, what you talking about?" "I'm not wanted here. I'm sorry. I'll leave." "Jewel, look at me," retorted Dorothy as she lifted Jewel's face with right hand and placed her left hand on her shoulder. "What are you talking about? You are always welcome in my house." "No, I'm leaving, Aunt Maggie." "Say I can't say." "Whoa, nah. What you talking about, Aunt Jewel? This is my house. Mother can't put you out my house," Dorothy declared. "But she told me to go. I wasn't wanted here, Dorothy. I'm sorry." "Jewel, come with me." As she took Jewel by the hand and made her stand in front of Maggie. "Mother, this is my house. You can't go around putting people out my house." "Dorothy, I told you to go back where she came from with all loud talking and cussing. Don't nobody want you to be around all that. Don't nobody want to be around all that. She ain't wanted here. Mother Jewel is family. You can choose friends, but you can't choose family. You can choose friends, but you can't choose family. Remember that. As long as I have a house, Jewel is always welcome here," snapped Dorothy. "She ain't welcome here," retorted Maggie. "Mother, let me tell you one thing." Waving her hand in a circle, pointed at everyone in the room, including Jean, she said, "In fact, let me tell y'all all one thing. Jewel is my cousin," pointing to herself. "And as long as I have a house, Jewel is always welcome in my house." Then turning back to her mother, she said, "Hear that, Mother? Always." That's my granny. Turning back to Jewel, Dorothy said, "I say, Jewel, now go in there and wash your hands and get yourself something to eat. My granny was the truth. Hey, Amazon, written by P.Marie. I love you, Granny. I love you, Granny. Happy birthday.